We start building the show around 10 o'clock in the morning, and we work all the way through 11 o'clock at night.
Copy that, stand by.
People always say, what do you got to be there so early for a 7 o'clock hockey game?
I need to see it, that's what I'm saying, guys, I need to see it.
There's probably 30 to 35 people on any given night working on the show.
We are constantly trying to figure out how to bring the game closer to the fan.
We're here for a couple hours after the game taking all this stuff out.
You don't know what's going to go wrong. When something goes wrong, it all goes wrong.
And that's the blessing and curse of live TV. You never know what's going to happen.
We come in like 1 o'clock, but some of the guys come in, they have other jobs, they come in at 5. But we set up basically the physical aspect, and every camera person's different, so everybody likes their arms different, the zoom different.
All this stuff's got to be brought in, and this is just a small portion of it. There's cameras, hard cameras on the far side. There's robo cameras that are going in right now. It's a big setup and a big tear out afterwards.
And we have power.
Jason Weiss is our production manager. He's got many responsibilities for the broadcast, and he's also our associate producer, graphics coordinator. So he's responsible for working with the graphics operator to make sure that all the elements and sponsored elements are inputted into the machine correctly and spelled right and fact-checked and so on and so forth.
Let's, the last line, let's go 439 goals.
The way that the truck is set up, we have up front in the front bench, Eric, the director, he's in charge with the pictures, what you see as the game goes on. So he's the one that's take camera 1, take camera 2, take camera 3. And sitting right next to him, Mike, the TD, he's the one that's physically pressing the buttons to make it happen. And then we have our producer. Pretty much Joe's in charge of the storylines, kind of the flow of the game, all the sponsorship elements, and Joe's panel of monitors is this entire tape room. On our home show, we have 4 operators. We have 2 positions who are editing, and then 2 positions that are, we call them replay only.
You know, we do 2 or 3 special broadcasts a year. You basically scrap your routine, scrap your traditional format, and you start from scratch with a new one, formatted directly around what's going on that day.
One, roll.
Stand by, Duffer.
You are watching the Buffalo Sabres on MSG.
Tonight, more than most nights, is about the head, and Dan can certainly speak to that. Now, Dan, what has been going through your mind on this Bald for Bucks night?
Listen, I'm really excited about it for the reason I watched Joe Pinner, our producer, send what you guys did last year with Marty, and I remember in that clip, Marty said we need to get more people involved this year.
We have a production meeting after the coaches' press conference after the morning skate.
I think it's a good conversation. It's just, guys, we'll say most overrated, but you can say, let's put it in a way that somebody that's underperforming.
We'll go over the format for that night, all the elements we're going to talk about, the storylines and so on.
You'll be in the chair. We'll have the 2 little girls start to cut the hair. Okay. Brian and Marty will be on the set because they're gonna have an interview with Tony George. So they'll have the interview. So whenever you come down, you'll just come down. Do your time frame is whatever totally your time frame. Okay.
Like for the Bald for Bucks, we'll reformat the whole intermission to center it around when that's going to happen. Dan's going to get down there whenever he can get down there.
Yep.
So you start the interview with Tony. If Dan's there in the middle, whenever we work Dan in, we do it. There's a few personalities in the room at the same time, and we're all trying to get our points across, and it gets a little festive at times, we'll say. Rob's a ringleader. Rob likes to keep things loose.
Okay, we only have a minute left for this one. The Athletic also asked, who is the most overrated player in the National Hockey League? Some guys say out there,
You might be overrated for your knowledge.
One player said it's not that the players are overrated, it's that they're overpaid.
Kidding, Marty, I
we
love
definitely
you.
are not overpaid over here. Duffer, before he kisses me, back to you.
It looks overwhelming, but it's controlled chaos in there. Everything has a meaning. Everything's strategically placed. Any monitor is there for a reason.
13 seconds left in the man advantage. Montour sends it down low. Opposo sends it back and score! Connor Sherry against his former team. The Sabres lead it 2-1.
Montour with the assist.
And that is Marty right there with the last few minutes of having that beautiful hair. And Mr. Dan Dunleavy right there going to get that taken off the top of his head there too. We've been waiting for a Bald for Bucks, Marty. Let's not waste any time.
Yes, go ahead, girls. Yes.
Rodriguez back to Montour. Sends a wrist around.
Montour, first of the Sabre if it's not tipped.
Not a bad first game in Buffalo. We're tied at 3 with 2:32 to go in the third period.
I just need a lower third. Eichel scored the overtime goal 45 seconds in November 19th at Pittsburgh.
And this will be the second time in 2 games the Sabres and Pittsburgh Penguins have gone to overtime.
We try to keep it professional, but sometimes we just can't contain ourselves. We are all fans. At the end of the day, we are huge Buffalo Sabres fans. So that energy and that enthusiasm gets translated into our broadcast constantly.
Gets it back again, right in front with a minute to go, and Dahlin can't pull the trigger.
So yeah, there'll be times someone scores a pretty goal. You're gonna hear some whoops and some hollers, and you know we're gonna be enjoying it as well.
Plays it up the boards, turned over. Sabres use it in the zone. Sherry scores! His second against his former team gives the Sabres 2 points. What a win by this group.
The good thing with us is the crew. I work with the videotape, have a ton of experience. Most of the cameramen have years and years of experience, so it really helps the broadcast with experienced technicians that are very good at what they do and they're professionals.
Thanks to our entire crew. Let me tell you, folks, it was not easy to pull off the hair cutting right around this area, but our friends at Supercuts and our terrific technical staff made it all work, and we were able to have an awful lot of fun here on this night at KeyBank Center as the Pens fall in Buffalo. Connor Sherry's OT winner in a 4-3 decision.